Pardon my intrusion, but I have another message to deliver to you. And if you don't mind my saying so, it's good to see you again. More like a summons, really. Comes from Abner Tharn, who once advised Emperor Varen of Cyrodiil. He wants to see you in Riverhold in northern Elsewhere. Said it involves the Khajiit Defense Force and a rage of dragons, if you can believe it.
I was beginning to suspect you were never going to arrive. After Calcevius and my half-sister manipulated us into inadvertently releasing a rage of dragons, Elsewhere has been overrun by the beasts. We do bear some responsibility, I suppose. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Hard to say with certainty, but I don't believe so. They remind me of Sir Cadwell, who somehow opens portals with a power of similar intensity. Check the locations I marked on your map before you make your way to the defense camp. Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them. My half-sister, Euraxia, conquered Rimmon and other parts of northern Elsewhere about 6 years ago. The Khajiit Defense Force has slowly been taking back their province, but Rimmon is well fortified. And now, because of the dragons, things are worse. A militia drawn from the prides of northern Elsewhere. Garesh Ree, the Speaker of the Main, has taken command during this crisis. With Dominion troops busy fighting the Three Banners War, the Defense Force must deal with the Euraxians and the dragons. Ah yes, of course you do. He does get around. If Cadwell turns out to be the source of the power surges, learn what he's doing out there and ask if he will aid us against the dragons. For all his eccentricities, he has talents we can utilize. Lord Garesh Ree is the Speaker of the Main and the commander of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. His aide, Chimera, serves as both a diplomat and a spy, though she would never call herself that. If you want to know more, feel free to ask them.
I suppose it is good to see you again, Walker. Someone must help Tharn clean up the mess he created at the Halls of Colossus. Come to think of it, you share some of the blame, yes? Do not mind me. Rampaging dragons put me in a foul mood. Trouble? More like flying disasters. Caravans devastated, livestock consumed, villages set aflame. It is more than the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force can handle. As much as I hate to admit it, we need Tharn's help. And yours as well, Walker. Damn Abner Tharn for translating the Wrathstone and finding that ancient ruin. He went in search of a weapon to end the Three Banners War. A weapon I told him was too dangerous, remember? And instead wound up releasing the dragons. Talk to Abner Tharn. He and the Speaker of the Main have been formulating strategies and contingency plans. Sometimes it feels like that is all they are doing. Maybe you can set fire to their tails, yes?
You're the adventurer who helped Abner Tharn and Chimera at the halls of Colossus? The battle mage has been waiting for you. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. No. Matters in other parts of Elsewhere occupy the Main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived to take charge of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. Efforts to expel the usurper Euraxia Tharn were well underway when the dragons appeared. A few years ago, Abnor Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimmon and parts of northern elsewhere. We recently liberated Riverhold and were about to do the same for Rimmon when the dragons spread across the land. It's almost as if they came to her aid. Talk to Abnor Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor, a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne. His strategies and tactics for use against the dragons sound outrageous, but he knows what he is doing.
No, Azazi. Never touch a Daedric monster. Especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us. But where do you think it came from?
It stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing, they do not tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
I saw you, traveler. Why do all outsiders insist on acting suspiciously? I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Or are you simply a deviant who enjoys skulking and slinking through the wilderness? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Why else would you be visiting the same places that he did? Unless... Are you an agent of the Usurper Queen? Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about enough of that when I talked to the man with the pot on his head. Ugh, you sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhole. Just stop skulking around.
No good can come of that place.
Uncanny. It looks just like the lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Ah, hello there. Good to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects, too? It was the strangest thing. I dreamed I was looking at this very gravestone, so here I came, and there it is, all solid and everything. Important? I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream, after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, on as a bantam gras, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact location. Now, why don't you take a look at the gravestone and see what you make of it, hmm? Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender, if you can imagine such a thing. Naturally, I gave them the old heave-ho. Foul smelling, I'll have you know, that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by bantam gras you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close when I opened my portal. Poor thing fell in and took a nasty spill. When the neck bone snaps, it makes an awful sound. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I ever met him. I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? I don't have a clue. Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember. But I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Of course I'll help. I'll just need to do a little more digging into this dream thing first. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times.
Get down. I'll deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. It's a good thing I'm Abner Tharn and not, well, some lesser mage. I discouraged it. But not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. Then the dragon attacked. I did what I could. I fear it wasn't enough. What about the power surges? Did you learn anything? The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. No matter. We can deal with that later. Right now, I want to know about Cadwell. Has he agreed to lend us his support? That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns? Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the Khajiit moon singers guard the secret history. Their tales led me to the halls of Colossus. But let's save this for a less dangerous time. Tell me about Cadwell. That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Driving off that dragon took a lot out of me. Why don't you go help Chimera while I keep watch in case the great beast returns?
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not... Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Vokar, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Retreat is not an option. Not yet. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. Search the ruined camp and locate the documents, Walker. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule, and if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed. Recover the documents from mail sacks in the camp and get them to Captain Nalado. Then meet us to the south.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. You saved many lives at great risk to your own walker. You have Nalado's respect. This one will guard these documents with her life. That was one of Euryxia, the Usurper Queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Now, Nalado must return to Riverhold to consult with Garashwi. We must find a way to go on. Euryxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side. Find Abnortharn and Carmira. Tell them to meet us in Riverhold.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. Was your hunt successful? Did you recover the documents that Chimera sought? I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. It will take every strategy I can devise to help Garesh-Ri prevent the collapse of his militia. The appearance of so many undead, though, that concerns me. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. It leads to the mountains to the west, but I can't pinpoint an exact location. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. Better to deal with them now, before Euryxia's power becomes more than we can contain. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. I wanted to send Chimera with you to find the source, but I have no idea where she's gone. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which is a dangerous combination. I'll make my way back as well. After all, Garesh-Ri would be lost without me. In case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye. She can be impetuous and obstinate, truth be told. Chimera gathered a handful of soldiers and took off to the west. If you run into her, send her back to Riverhold.
the hunter, Sarazi. We quarry, no glory. You have something to say, dull claws. Let's make it quick. You don't get muscle? What, did you just wander up here like a lost mountain goat? This is Predator Mesa, the Hunter's Highland. Really? Nothing? Zisvo. Hunters come here to test their claws against savage beasts. A trial of strength and cunning. But mostly strength. Ha! Compared to vigorous Sarazi, you are a dry twig. This calls for a contest. Hunting beasts is one thing. Hunting hunters, though, that is a real test. Sarazi will give you a head start. This is sporting, yes? You'll see 3 prowling Khajiit on the mesa. Unless they see you first. Ha! There's a nesting griffin up there also. Quillmane. If you really want to impress me, kill him too. Having second thoughts already? Ha! It's not too late to slink away. In the face of these muscles and good looks, no one would blame you. Bah! That's the problem with you outsiders. No sense of humor. I joke. Except the part about the muscles and the good looks. That part is solemn truth. 3 hunters camp on the mesa. Zahalar, Kuzo, and Tahuda. Killers, all. Yes, indeed. Beasts, people, it's all the same on Predator Mesa. Anything with a pulse is fair game. These 3 live on the mesa year-round, hunting animals and each other. Now we hunt them all. Who am I? I'm Sarazi, strongest, swiftest, and slickest Khajiit hunter in northern elsewhere. Huh! Sarazi is still cementing his reputation. Give it time. I will tell you what my uncle told me. Long ago, a tribe of hunters settled here on the mesa and built a great temple to the hungry cat, Hircine. But their love of chasing and bloodshed drove them to hunt each other to death. Savage beasts started migrating here, settling around the temple. Eventually, the temple fell apart, and the wilderness took the whole mesa back. Something about this place brings out the hunter in every Khajiit. Like sugar and raw meat, yes?
Fresky.
Take. Ha! Come to your senses, eh? Don't worry, Sarazi won't tell anyone that you ran away. Predator Mesa is not for everyone. Now, watch a true hunter Wait, is that blood on your hands? Where did all this blood come from? Kra! I never should have given you that head start. Now what will Sarazi hunt? Birds and chipmunks? Well, a wager is a wager, yes? Here, spend it on some decent food, Walker. Bulging muscles and a shiny coat start at the dinner table. Farewell. What?
I did not expect to see you in this desolate place, Walker. Did Captain Nalado send you? Or have you come to join us as we hunt the dragon that killed so many of our warriors? Then our missions coincide. We can work together to destroy the undead and slay the dragon. It will be glorious. When we finish with the hunting and the slaying, we can report our success to Lord Gareshri. I do not take orders from that old battle mage. Besides, the blood of Khajiiti warriors cries for vengeance. To disregard that cry, that is not a shame I can bear. No, I must do this. I must strike back and show my people that hope survives. The worthy life is full of risk, Walker. I assumed you knew that, given what you do. I will tell you a secret, though. Before my parents died, they gave me a pendant. As long as I wear it, Jode watches over me and provides his protection. To Jode, yes, but also to my family and heritage. I suppose you could call it an heirloom. It helps me in my role as agent for Lord Gareshri, and that is all I will say about it. Now, let us go inside and find the necromancer and the dragon. With me! Stay close. We will hunt these necromancers down and end this dragon. creatures! Cut them down!
No more excuses. No more delays. Double trial. Your reanimated body marches ahead of Euraxia's forces.
Go! We'll take you!
Fair enough, little insects. You dare challenge Mulamnir?
Dragonfire, move!
Little morsel. Mulamnir would talk to you. Mulamnir wanted to thank you, little morsel. Your actions helped set us free of our hated prison. Now, listen to the words I say. Mulamnir wants you to understand the challenge before you. Our puppet, Eurexia, commands a legion of soldiers, an army of necromancers, and a horde of undead. Add my dragon brothers, and the hopelessness of your cause becomes obvious. You and Abner Thorn set us free. You released us from the halls of Colossus. For that, I offer you this one last chance to survive. If you and the battle mage leave elsewhere, my brothers and I will not hunt you down. Then you will die, but not before we slaughter your friends and set fire to elsewhere. Once we reduce this land to so much ash, only then will I tear you apart. So promises Mulamnir, whose claws have dealt 1,000 deaths. Leave elsewhere, little morsel. Tell the battle mage, if I see you again, you will die.
Five Claw, are you all right? What the dragon said. Perhaps my confidence was a bit misplaced. That creature was much bigger than it appeared when it flew over the camp. I never jump without first knowing where my feet will land. Also, I have very sharp claws. We lost so many today. The dragon, that Mulamnir, it has much to answer for. We defeated the necromancer and shut down one of their undead foundries. We need you and Tarn, despite my dislike of the man. But what the dragon intimated about Euraxia, it called her its puppet. I fear the dragons control the Rimmen throne now. Yes, you must do that. I will join you after I take care of the remains of my soldiers. They died bravely and deserve to receive the proper sacraments. Go to Riverhold. I will see you there.
Watch your step in the stitches.
Ah, there you are. Spare a moment for a chit-chat? we've had this conversation already, then I wanted to thank you for the useful advice. But if I haven't seen you since our talk at that mysterious gravestone, which seems much more likely, then I could really use your help. Did I mention the dreams? Visions, really? They come and go without warning, like seeing through someone else's eyes. Quite disconcerting in an interesting sort of way. Anyway, my trusty shovel and I, we searched that entire grave, and it was gone. The betrayer's head, the dreams, the visions, they drew me there, but someone got to it before I did. I have the strangest sensation in the pit of my tummy. It could be the cobweb porridge I had for breakfast, or something bad is about to happen. Well, that's sort of like leaping from the cliffs of failure without a rope, or at least without tying the end off first. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, Abner wants to see you. He's in the town hall with the Cat General.
At this point, we need to come up with a plan that takes into account Euraxians, necromancers, and dragons. I proposed a few options, but Gareshri wasn't sold on any of them. Tell me, what of Chimera and the source of the undead? You paint a troubling picture, my friend. Still, we need to celebrate every victory we achieve. I fear such triumphs will be few and far between. Do you have anything else to report? My half-sister likes to think that she's in charge. She won't take kindly to being called a puppet. As for leaving elsewhere, I think not. Obviously this Mulamnir fears us. Otherwise the dragon wouldn't have deigned to talk to you. Every conversation I have with Cadwell makes my head throb, but one mystery at a time, if you please. Now, if only I could get my half-sister to listen to reason and see that the dragons are using her. A parley? I may not like her, but we are family. Besides, it would give the Khajiit time to regroup. You're beginning to think like a Tharn, my friend. Here, take this. Gareshri gave it to me, but I refuse to accept payment for my services. A parley with Euraxia is a capital idea. I'll send word to Rimmon to expect us. I imagine my half-sister will treat us as befits my station and agree to the meeting. Attend to any other matters if you must, then see me when you're ready to leave. It just so happens I already have one. It involves distracting my half-sister with wit, charm, and words she barely comprehends. Oh, and you. Euraxia never could resist a pretty face. You'll pretend to be my bodyguard and personal valet. Consider it obfuscation to hide your true purpose. We don't want to give Euraxia a reason to react poorly to overtures of reconciliation. Not that I expect to reach an accord, but still. Meet me in Rimmon and we'll enter the palace together. Go on, go on. I'm capable of traveling to Rimmon on my own. We'll meet up at the city gates and go to the palace from there. I'm relatively certain Euraxia will honor the parley, but be prepared for anything. She's still a Tharn, after all. We're not very close, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. Euraxia is an accomplished mage in her own right. My younger sibling has always been ambitious, but I didn't realize the extent of her aspirations until the Frostfall coup. About 6 years ago or so, while Emperor Varen was busy with his rebellion, Euraxia took advantage of the confusion to lead a column of Nibonese mercenaries into northern Elsewhere. She declared herself Queen of Rimmon and its adjacent fiefs. Of course not. The Khajiit call her the Usurper Queen, remember? Once Varen became Emperor, he had other problems to worry about. Same with Queen Irene. As long as the Alliance War occupies her forces, the Khajiit are on their own out here.
This one hates the idea of talking to the Usurper Queen. We should be stabbing her in the neck. Still, Nalado sees the necessity, even if she doesn't like it. Euraxia will almost certainly betray you, so be careful when you face her, yes? By marching into elsewhere with a mercenary army and slaughtering our rightful Khajiit rulers. Not only did the usurper slay our king and queen, she murdered the rest of the royal family. Her crimes, they swarm around her like flesh flies on dung.
A parley with the usurper queen. I doubt she'll agree to any sort of diplomatic solution. But it will buy us time to replenish our resources. Very well. Take Tharn and meet with Euraxia. In the meantime, we will rebuild what remains of the militia. She marched into Anequina with a mercenary army and conquered Rimmon. Her forces killed the royal family, and she illegally proclaimed herself queen. That makes her a usurper. I pray I live to see her pay for her crimes.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings. On the surface, yes, but peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me, and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmon is far tighter than it appears. Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiit workers worse than
rumors
slaves.
about Ashen Scar. Undead, mainly. I guess I can mark visiting there off my...
The stories of an undead plague there makes this...
It's that building over there. For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them.
You haven't heard that a necromancer is...
The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before. One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiit citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective. The Rimmon Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiit, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings. Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be thriving, but appearances can be deceiving. It may be hard to see, but the Khajiit merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better. Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiit merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax. On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiit pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land. Come along. I want to show you the improvements.
Is it true the
Euraxia
impervious
made
vault
to the
was
palace
robbed?
wall.
I did not deem that possible.
Yeah.
See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success. How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsewhere Defense Force at bay? She declared publicly, and has repeated often, that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted. Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Ah, here come Queen Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these peddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark night that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head. It was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Your insults won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen is...
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my son's murderer was somewhat taller. Ah, well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with the monster who murdered my dear Javad? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy right up until the end, and then I'll give you to Foom. Do not attempt to sway me with your silver tongue. Mulamnir and I have a special relationship, an understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over elsewhere, and there's nothing you or my pathetic half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adeptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold. I recommend that you... The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench. Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adaptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adaptorium. Adaptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
They would...
Rigert knew he should have brought more meat.
Let no Euraxian enter this holy place.
Invaders! This one will not allow you to enter this holy place. You do not look like one of the Usurper Queen's soldiers. Who are you, and what are you doing down here? The Speaker of the Main sent you? This one expected we were on our own, what with the dragons and the battles to the north. Zamorak came down here to seal this path, but now he thinks the Euraxians seek the Grand Adept. Desert Wind holds many Khajiit secrets, and the keeper of those secrets is the Grand Adept. If you truly want to help, follow Zamorak to the Grand Adept's chambers. Nine Winds, no! Get to the door! Go! Save the Grand Adept! Go! This one will find another way inside.
Too late. The Grand Adept revealed all before I killed her. This is the Necromancer's doing. Even in death, I continue to serve. He called it a blessing. Said it would protect me. Damn him! He claimed my soul! Please, you must help me. Release me from this curse! We came for an ancient secret, protected by the Grand Adept. She put up a good fight, I'll give her that. Zumog Foom seeks the location of the betrayer's body parts. I learned where the dismembered corpse was hidden. Now, please, help me!
You are wrong. The secret belongs to me. What the Battle Mage knew in life, she whispers to me in death. Soon Riverhold will fall, and the betrayer will be restored.
Let the fourth wind open the way. Grand Adept! No! Zamorak has failed. This one was too slow. Again. What has happened here? Who killed the Grand Adept? Zamorak thanks you for avenging the Grand Adept. But why did they attack this peaceful Adeptorium? Why kill a harmless old student of the Desert Winds? The Usurper Queen made a mistake when she had the Grand Adept killed. Whatever they came to find had an unintended consequence. It has roused. We are not many, but we are strong. The Adepts of the Desert Wind will aid the city. Zamorak will see you there, after he makes sure the Grand Adept receives the proper blessings.
I informed Garesh Ree and Chimera about what happened in Rimmon. They're mobilizing our remaining forces even as we speak. Now tell me, what did you learn at the Desert Wind Adeptorium? I often wondered who Cadwell was before he became a soul shriven. I know the tales of the betrayer, but I never equated the two. The Cadwell we know is so not that. We'll deal with Zumog Foom after we save Riverhold. Anything else to report? Well, that's a bit of welcome news. Many of the adepts have remarkable martial skills that we could surely make use of. Speaking of which, are you ready to help defend the city? For now, recover your strength and prepare yourself. Euraxia's forces will arrive soon, and we'll need you ready for the battle to come. And here, take this. Garesh Ree keeps handing me pouches, but I have little use for Khajiiti gold. Yes, but Garesh Ree's scouts report that they're on their way. Our parley seems to have aroused Euraxia's anger. What remains of Elswere's militia has taken up positions around town, but I fear they are too few in number. They need your help. Garesh Ree has placed the defense of the city in Chimera's hands. She moves the Desert Wind adepts, every volunteer she could muster, and what remains of the militia like pieces on a game board. Report to her, and she'll give you your orders. Find Chimera outside and see what she requires. Euraxian soldiers will soon reach Riverhold. When that happens, all oblivion will break loose. You must have taken a more serious beating than I thought at Desert Wind. Oh, very well. After I inadvertently had some small part in releasing the dragons from the halls of Colossus, I came to Elswere to find a way to rectify the situation. So your memory isn't totally addled? Yes. But we discovered that the Khajiit had more to deal with than just the dragons. My half-sister, Euraxia, the usurper queen of Rimmon, has aligned with the great beasts and necromancers to conquer Elswere. Just that Cadwell, the gallant knight of Cold Harbor, seems to be involved. Well, his physical remains, anyway. Zumog Foom seeks Cadwell the Betrayer's severed body parts in order to restore the evil knight. To what end? I have no idea. According to Khajiiti legend, Cadwell the Betrayer was one of the heroes who helped Kunzar Ree imprison the dragons in the halls of Colossus. Euraxia employs the necromancer Zumog Foom and his cadre of dark mages. He reanimated Cadwell's head.
I sent Chimera out to coordinate the city's defenses while Tharn and I continue to refine our strategy. Can we hold this city, or should we fall back? I hope the battle mage can pull a miracle out of his ear, but we cannot count on that. Chimera knows Riverhold and its people well. Her training has prepared her for this. She is more than capable of organizing our defenses and converting our strategies into actionable tactics. She is very good at getting things done. When Euraxia first conquered our home, she occupied the entire upper tier of northern Elswere, from Riverhold to Rimmon. It took many years and much blood to retake the northwest and confine her to Rimmon. I have no doubt she will attack. It won't be easy, but our strategy is sound and Chimera excels at executing tactics. Between Captain Nalado's remaining warriors and the Desert Wind adepts you brought, we should have the forces we need, provided Euraxia does not send a dragon.
We need your cart to help barricade the city, Grishka. The main will compensate you for any damage. I knew nothing good would come of Abner Tharn's efforts to make peace with the usurper queen. Now she turns her attention to Riverhold. We must protect the city, no matter what Euraxia throws at us. So many have answered the call. Zamorak and the Desert Wind adepts, the people of Riverhold. Even that strange Cadwell. And now you, Fiveclaw. Excellent! I have things that need to be done, but not enough hands to do them. If you are willing. The outlying farms are vulnerable to attack. We need to get the farmers inside the walls before Euraxia's forces arrive. Go to Greenleaf Farm and convince Zazie to move her family. After that, I will send word as to what I need you to do next.
Wait, Walker. Zamorak will accompany you.
There are no...
This one would go with you to the Greenleaf Farm. The farmers there were kind when Zamorak passed that way on his return. He would help you convince them to find safety inside the town. Exile. Circumstances forced Zamorak to leave the land he loves. This one never imagined returning to elsewhere, but here he is. Zamorak will help, though he prefers to utilize his healing skills over his martial abilities. Zamorak understands, but that may be easier said than done. The last time this one used his martial skills, well, things did not go well. We can discuss this more later. Now let us go help the farmers. The farm lies to the northwest of the town. The fastest way to reach the farm is through the gate in the western wall.
Oh, this spring attaches to the wedging of my foot. Greetings, Walker. Have you a moment to speak?
Euraxians, here! We expected an attack from the east and south, but they've somehow encircled the town.
Get out, servant of the usurper queen. Before this one, close your eyes. Who are you to burst into our home without permission? Wait, this one recognizes the brawny adept standing behind you. What do you want with Zazie and her family? The Euraxians are already here. They seem to be searching for something, though so far they have left us alone. But this one's mate and brother, Kinaro and Hirsch, they are still in the fields, and we will not run while our family remains separated. You would do that? Thank you, Walker. Kinaro would try to hide, but my brother, Hirsch, can be hot-headed, and he hates the Euraxians. A lethal combination when faced with Euraxian steel. Please, hurry. This one's son plans to join the militia. Zazie would rather keep him safe, but children never appreciate the advice of their elders, yes? A few small caves lie to the west, in the hills. We use them for storage as they stay cool and dark, even on the hottest days.
I should be the one to search for father and uncle, not these outsiders.
Hey! You'll do no such thing! Stay back!
Go away! Haven't you done enough? Zazie, is she safe? Thank Joan and Jode. Dark moons, what a disaster. The soldiers appeared and chased us out of the fields. Then they started digging. Hirsch threw a rock. They responded with an arrow. Now my mate's brother is dead. I heard one of the soldiers mention body parts. Such gruesome work. But no one is buried in our fields, at least as far as I know. Oh, Walker, I have no idea how Zazie will react to the news of Hirsch's death. Dark moons, indeed.
This one will say the words to guide Hirsch to the sands behind the stars.
Thank you, Adept. I'll go and break the sad news to Zazie. We all grieve for Hirsch, Miniza.
This one's brother would want us to stay here and defend our farm. Zazie would be a poor sister and a poorer matriarch of this family if she tucked her tail between her legs and slunk away. But... Damn you, Walker! We can't even spare a moment to take care of Hirsch's remains? No. The living are more important than the dead. We will go into the city. However, if this one gets killed anyway, she promises to haunt you.
Ah, Five Claw. Good. I have another task for you. I hoped to catch you before you were done here. I need you to head west. Nalado's scouts identified a number of Euraxian supply camps set up near the mountains. I want you to help Nalado and her soldiers disrupt the Euraxian supply lines. These western camps support the soldiers that encircle the city. Find the camps, startle their horses, and set fire to their wagons. Nalado's soldiers will grab whatever supplies they can, but your goal is to inflict mayhem and destruction. Once you scare off the horses and set fire to the wagons, that will be the signal for Nalado's soldiers to grab the supplies. And if any of the Euraxians complain, feel free to deal with them however you see fit. Zumog Fum! He wants to resurrect the betrayer from the ancient tales of Kunzari. Ever since Abner Tharn made the Moonsingers recall those legends, we have been haunted by them. But that is the next problem. First, we must protect Riverhold. Do some damage, Five Claw. You were right, Five Claw. They are searching.
Sleek and lively. That will do that. Quickly, take as much as you can carry. If those dungheads had proper tails, what we did to their supply camps would put a kink in them. One more small task, Five Claw, if you are willing. This one would have you help the strange one named Cadwell. Cadwell was adamant about helping our cause. He's been tinkering with bits and scraps, claims he's made traps to slow down the Uraxians. If you would, help the Strange One set his traps where the Uraxians are sure to spring them. Cadwell works along the main road that heads south out of Riverhold. Make sure he doesn't blow himself to bits, yes? Now, Nalado must return to the city before the Uraxians arrive in force. This one wants to be there when the battle truly begins.
So good to see you again. I missed you terribly. Now, mind where you step. I had no idea I could make such delightful murder toys. You don't want to stick a toe into any of them, though. Blew my little piggy right off. I can play a lute. Magnificent swordplay, my speciality. Can even make a delicious Daedra heart flambe. But these doodads that go kaboom just popped into my head while thinking about how to help the catfolk. I quite like the catfolk. Wouldn't that be remarkable? Decide you need to know something and it just occurs to you in a flash of inspiration. Chocolate souffle. No, it didn't work. More likely, it's something I knew before they chopped my head off and scrambled my memories. Took it right off the old body, yes. Not that I recall details. Probably better that way. Anywho, you can help me arm the last few traps along the road. Just twiddle the spring and tweak the fiddly bit. Carefully. Watch. I'll show you. To arm a trap, just twiddle this bit like so, and... Oh dear. I'm fine. I twiddled when I should have tweaked, just a wee bit scorched, that's all. Happening again. Well, that's an evil-looking orc, a necromancer. I recognize that tree. They're on their way to Riverhold. That's not good. Not good at all. And I have enough trouble seeing through my own eyes, let alone someone else's. I hope this doesn't become a regular occurrence. The Betrayer's Head. I'm not sure why we're connected or why it insists on showing me the most disturbing images. I saw an orc necromancer, dreadful chap. He's coming to Riverhold and he's bringing his nasty undead chums with him. Rubbish and poppycock, that makes no sense whatsoever. Wait, I remember something. The Betrayer. Those loon priests called me that, right before they... Well, we need to warn the cat people. The necromancer is coming, and he's bringing undead.
For Queen Euraxia!
Riverhold with cats so bold. I'll see you there if truth be told.
Over here, 5 Claw. Let us talk.
They're definitely on their way, Chimera. The Euraxians with perfectly aligned teeth.
We must get inside and prepare to defend the town. Euraxia's forces are underway. More undead. Just like at the Defense Force outpost. Regular troops are bad enough, but shambling corpses. They unsettle even the most seasoned Khajiiti warrior. We need to warn Gareshri. Almost. I wish we had another day and another pride of warriors. But our claws are sharp. Finish your business, then tell me when you are ready. We will enter the town, clear the streets, and set the final defenses before we report to Gareshri.
Yes?
Speaker, we have news!
Report, Chimera.
The Euraxians have necromancers in their ranks.
The usurper queen dare send undead against us? 5 Claw, find Captain Naledo and warn her.
Strike hard! Drive back the Euraxians! 5 Claw, did the speaker send orders?
Riverhold belongs to Queen Euraxia, cats!
Grave-robbing cur!
Every death is just a new recruit for Euraxia's army!
This one hates killing the same fools again and again! This one must warn to us!
Necromancer's spell will animate every corpse in town, but this one has an idea. Blessed moon pillars. They can cleanse the necromantic curse. This one must be at peace to memorize the inscription. They spilled blood in this sacred place. Zamorak and the prayer are one. Come, let us find the blessed pillar of the spring moon. As long as the necromantic spell remains in place, the dead will keep rising. Deal with the undead while Zamorak recites the prayer. The spring moon has sanctified the ground. Let us proceed to the summer moon. Deal with the undead while this one activates the pillar of the summer. Vakri Jashin. Pillar of the Winter Moon, near Kahajab Hall. Vaba Kri Frisin. The moon pillars are activated. Riverhold is sanctified.
It's working. The dead are dead again.
Wait. Something is coming.
Dark moons! Dragons!
We can't fight dragons!
This one will order the retreat.
Such pathetic creatures. Flee before Call granted, you insignificant morsels!
No. Riverhold belongs to the Khajiit.
Chimera! Consider your next words very carefully.
Now I'll speak the words my people need to hear. We are Khajiit. We are the children of Alkosh, the daughters and sons of Joan and Jode. We do not run, even from dragons.
Bolokdan! Prove your worth. Destroy these paltry insects.
Stand with me, people of Anequina, for I am Chimera, daughter of King Hemakar. I am your queen. Now, Five Claw! Use the ballista and drive the dragon to the ground! Shown that the Khajiit will not run, not even from a dragon!
All hail Chimera, daughter of King Hemakar and Queen Numara!
Soon, Rimmen and all of Anequina will once again belong to us. The reign of the usurper queen nears its end. On this, I give you my word as the heir of Anequina, the daughter of King Hemakar, and the true queen of Rimmen.
We have plans to make. War Council, with me.
The speaker is correct. There's still work to do. Let's convene in Kahajab Hall.
Thank you for helping defend Riverhold from the Usurper Queen's forces. And killing a dragon. That was amazing. I just wish Chimera had not revealed herself in quite so open a fashion. Chimera is indeed the daughter of King Hemekar and Queen Numara. She alone survived the murder of the royal family and has served as my aide ever since. The men and I hope to reveal her identity after we had the Euraxia situation more well in hand. A mistake? No. I trust her instincts. She will make a good queen for our people. But Chimera lets her emotions get the better of her, and she can be reckless. I worry that those tendencies could end her rule before it truly begins. Euraxia killed most of the palace staff and quickly spread word that the royal family was dead. Chimera hid in plain sight, often working far from Rimmon, and her pendant protects her from magical detection. Now, talk to Tharn. Plans must be made.
You killed a dragon. Impressive, but don't let it go to your head. It was just one, and not even that large of a specimen. Plus, of course, no one will remember your feat. They're all going to be talking about the return of their queen. I had every faith in your ability to handle the situation. There was no need to intervene and tarnish your moment of glory. Besides, my considerable strategic skills serve the Khajiit cause better than my battle magic. I leave the mayhem to you. Honestly, I had no idea. Chimera's rousing words were all well and good, but it will take more than inspiring speeches and old siege weapons to take down my half-sister. Based on recent events, only one course of action makes sense. We must strike at Rimmon and remove my half-sister from the throne before she rallies her forces. First, however, take this. Compensation for stopping the undead and killing a dragon. My half-sister continues to be an embarrassment to our family name. The time has come to deal with Euraxia. Permanently. Half-sister. And yes, if it comes to that. Euraxia conquered Rimmon without authorization. She oppressed the Khajiit, unleashed hordes of undead, and made a deal with the dragons. If we don't depose her, I hate to imagine what she'll do next. Who said anything about a direct assault? Subterfuge is called for. I suggest a small group slip into the palace, locate Euraxia, and remove her from the throne by any means necessary. Talk to Garesh Ree. He knows someone who can get us inside.
Now that I have revealed my true heritage, we need to act quickly, Lord Speaker.
I agree with the princess. The time has come to remove my half-sister from the throne.
Queen Tharn. I have not been a princess in a very long time.
I stand corrected. Queen Chimera. You said you had a way
Like
to get
most of Abnur Tharn's plans, it is both brilliant and daring. If it has any chance to succeed, however, we need a way to get a small force into the palace without being seen. Luckily, I may have an answer. The former custodian of the palace, he knew the place like the back of his paw. Remarkably, he survived Euraxia's conquest and the purge of the royal family. Find him, and he should be able to provide us with an unseen path into the palace. Aneshi. He served as castellan for Rimmon Palace under King Hemekar. You can find Aneshi southeast of here, where he now cares for a shrine to the ancient hero Kunzari. Learn what he knows. Then meet the rest of the strike force in Rimmon.